Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is a beautiful but cold winter morning here in Rockford, Illinois, and I'm Dr. Johnny as usual. We're going to be doing episode 4 today, and it's going to be something different that I've been doing some research on this past week when it comes to better range of motion and better durability and strength and everything when it comes to two very important joints, the shoulder joint, which we've been talking about, but then also the neck and some of the things that we can work on when it comes to stretches like that. So the key today is going to be something called CARs. CARs are controlled articular rotations. And the reason that these are so unique and used in the past few years now is because they utilize and activate range of motion and rotational movements at outer limits. And that's the key. Your outer limit is the range of motion of each individual joints in order to stimulate articular adaptations, which is just a fancy way of saying that you can improve your total range of motion, the durability of that joint, just by being able to focus on certain range of motions and certain movements that you use for that pattern. So CARs also indicate neurological control of our outer ranges for improved joint stability and kinesiology awareness. And basically, it gives your body and joints in space and time where your body and joints are. So, how we do these are here's the one thing I like to always use for example. If we look at the neck, and you see this up through here at the top left of my screen, the neck should have 80 to 85 degrees of rotation side to side. You also should have 45 degrees of lateral flexion and then at least 45 degrees of flexion and extension. Now, how do you lose that over time? Well, arthritis, injuries, adhesions. As a chiropractor, that's what we're always working through to prevent and heal. But this is another thing that you can practice. So let's jump right into it. We're going to do the CARs for the shoulder. And so when it comes to the CARs for the shoulder here, if you can see this picture before, the key is one, we're going to start with our hand, and let me lower this so we can all see. But the key is you're going to start with your hand low at your side, just like this, thumb pointing out. And what you want to do is slowly, slow and controlled, go into flexion. And then once you get to the top, you should be able to then completely internally rotate, which means I'm bringing my thumb this way, right? So I'll kind of make it easier so you can see my hands here. I go up to the top, I internally rotate, and then you go backwards, and then your thumb should naturally fall forward. Now, here's the thing. There should be no pain when you do this. So if you do have pain when you're doing it, one of the key things that you can do and prevent is one, just don't go out as far and wide, right? So if I'm going to do this and I have some pain at a spot, like right here, well, then I'm just going to internally rotate and make a big swooping motion this way. Now, this is one of the best things for the shoulder because so many people have they call it like, oh, I hear clicking and popping in my shoulder. Is that okay? Is that arthritis? A lot of times it's tendons and ligaments and just articulations or bony projections that are preventing you from being able to fully rotate that joint. And so doing a CAR in this way, thumb out, come in, internally rotate, come all the way back, is going to allow you to work through those clicks and pops and articulations that are preventing you from having the full range of motion. The next one I want to show with you then is the neck. And the neck CAR is just as important because from an adjustment standpoint, your brainstem sits at the top of your neck and you want to make sure you have complete durability and stability into the neck. So for a CAR in your neck, all you have to do is this motion. We look down as best you can. Look to your right like you're looking down this way. You roll your head up and you should feel like there's almost resistance. Like imagine that the air is resisting you from being able to do this motion. You're going to look down to your left, look down towards the floor, and come back. And I'll show you from the side because you want good posture as you're doing this controlled articular range of motion. But it's so important. This is something that I would want you to try and do after your adjustments or before your adjustments. See where your range of motion is. So I know today was a little bit more of a simple stretch, but if you try it, you're going to be able to tell where you're limited and where you're restricted and what other exercises you need to work on for two important areas, the neck and the shoulder. If you have any questions, bring them to me in the bay. We can go through them, or if you can send me an email, it'd be great too. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this season. We'll see you next week for the next episode of Fitness Fridays. And as always, stay fit.